There are really only two kinds of spiritual people on the internet right now. The ones that are using spirituality to feel everything more honestly, and then there's the ones that are using spirituality to never have to feel anything at all. One group says, I meditate so I can face my life with clearer eyes. The other says, if I just stay high vibe enough, maybe I won't have to look at my patterns, my past, or the people that I've hurt. One group uses spiritual tools to get into their body, their relationships, and their responsibilities. The other uses spiritual language like a smoke machine to disappear behind. Everything happens for a reason. Low vibration. You're just not aligned. So before we go any deeper, I want you to pick a side in your own mind. Are you using spirituality to wake up or to tap out? And you don't have to tell anyone your answer, but your life already reflects it. And if you're even just a little bit honest enough to admit that you're here to wake up, even if you've used spirituality to hide before, you could also just comment, I choose real healing in the comments. So you've got a timestamp on the moment that you chose the path that actually costs something. So let's name this clearly so your brain can't dodge it. Toxic spirituality isn't crystals, tarot, astrology, church, psychedelics, breathwork, manifestation, or any tool itself. Toxic spirituality is how you use it. It looks like using light and love to dodge a hard conversation and accountability. It looks like calling abuse a soul contract so you never have to feel angry or set a boundary. Or labeling anyone who disagrees with you as low vibration so you don't have to examine your own ego. Or it could look like blaming people's suffering on their beliefs while ignoring systems, traumas, and basic reality. Spirituality that explains everything, changes nothing, and protects your image more than it heals your heart is pointless, dude. It's when manifestation quietly turns into, if you're poor, sick, or struggling, it's your fault for not thinking correctly. It's when forgiveness turns into, you're not allowed to be angry. Angry is unspiritual. It's when non-attachment turns into, I don't care about anything, so nothing can hurt me. Bruh. Deep breath. That's not enlightenment. That's avoidance while you're burning some incense. Real spirituality doesn't make you less human. It makes you more human. More able to feel, more able to tell the truth, more able to sit with your own shadow instead of projecting it onto everyone else. So if you want to know whether you're drifting into toxic territory, here's a few massive red flags. And I promise you, I resonated with at least one. You possibly might as well. Red flag number one is the high vibe only as a way to shut people up. If your spirituality can't handle grief, anger, confusion, or doubt, it's not spirituality, bro. It's an aesthetic. Any path that tells you, don't say that or you'll attract it. Don't admit that, it lowers your frequency. Don't look at that, it's not your timeline. Is training you to be more fragile, not more free. A grounded spiritual path will teach you how to move with your emotions, not pretend that you don't have them. Red flag number two, everything is a mirror except you. Yes, people can reflect our wounds back to us. Yes, relationships can expose our patterns. But if everybody around you is always toxic, asleep, or unhealed, and you're the only enlightened one in your story, that's not awakening. That's like a main character complex. But if spirituality puts you in the role of a teacher, a healer, a guide, a twin flame expert, ascension specialist, and never in the role of a student, apologizer, beginner, that's your ego in a robe, bro. Now, red flag number three, it's all love as an excuse to avoid repair. It's all love sounds beautiful, but if it's all love means you never circle back to apologize, never acknowledge harm, never change behavior, that love lives in your mouth, not in your nervous system. Real love is not allergic to the sentence, I was wrong. This wasn't okay. I'm going to do better. If any of this stings, good. It means that there's still something in you that wants the real thing, bro. So let's flip it for a second. Real spirituality is not a vibe, bro. It's about capacity. It's your capacity to tell the truth without decorating it. It's your capacity to sit with someone in pain without trying to fix it for your own comfort. It's about feeling your own shame, rage, jealousy, fear, and not make those feelings your identity. It doesn't mean that you never get reactive. It means that when you do, you're willing to look at it. Sometimes real spirituality looks like canceling plans and saying, I'm not in a good place mentally. I need to take care of myself. Or leaving a situation that you prayed would change because you love yourself too much to call neglect a lesson forever. It could be admitting that your intuition was actually anxiety or trauma talking and adjusting without destroying yourself. It's about less ascending to the 5D and being more honest in the 3D. Real spirituality grounds your body. You pay attention to your breath when you're spiraling. You notice when situations make you feel smaller and you stop calling that humility. It's when you give your nervous system real resources, bro. Sleep, food, movement, instead of expecting that affirmations are going to fix everything. It grounds you in your relationships. You communicate instead of ghosting and calling it energetic disconnection. You stop using protecting my peace as code for I don't want to do the uncomfortable work or of talking this through. It looks like you let people be human, not props in your storyline. And it grounds you in your responsibility, bro. Real spirituality, you have to acknowledge when your choices hurt people, dude. You don't hide behind we're all one to avoid doing your own repair work. You use your awareness, bro, and the present moment to make different choices, not smarter excuses. If this is landing, if you feel like someone is saying out loud things that you've only said to yourself inside of your head, just take a deep breath with me, bro. Look at yourself in the mirror, literally or in your mind, and just comment, no more spiritual bypassing. So you don't let your ego talk you out of what you already know is true, dude. So here's why this matters, even if you're not that spiritual. Everybody's using something not to feel, bro. For some people, it's work. Some people, it's substances. Some people, it's doom scrolling. For some, it's spirituality dressed up in a language that sounds enlightened but functions exactly just like another escape. So if you've ever sat in a breathwork circle and then gone home and repeated the same harmful pattern, or you've pulled a tarot card or read astrology and never changed a behavior, or journaled about your shadow and never apologized to a person, you already know the difference between touching the idea of healing and actually living different. And I'm not saying this to try to put any of you down. I'm saying this because some part of you is done living on the surface of your own life, bro. The fact that you're still here and listening instead of just swiping away to the next algorithmic feed, it tells me one thing. You're not looking for pretty language anymore. You're looking for something that just changes how you show up as a human. And that's what I mean when I continuously talk about Team Human, bro. It's not a logo or a team that you join. It's just a tiny, stubborn decision to be honest more than your curated image, to be more responsible than your excuses, more compassionate than your fear tells you is safe. If choosing to let your spirituality make you kinder, clearer, and more real, not just more branded. So if this rang anything, just even a little bell, even 1%, here's what I'd love for you to do with that. First, let's keep it painfully simple. Just pick one spot in your life where you know that you've been using spirituality to avoid something. Maybe it's a conversation that you owe someone. Maybe it's a feeling you keep labeling as low vibe instead of actually grieving. Or a habit that you've been calling a lesson instead of a behavior that needs to be changed. So to decide that this week, you're going to make one concrete step toward that thing. Not to meditate on it. Not to pull cards about it. Not to ask the universe for another sign. Just take one step. And here's the second thing. If you want to stay around for conversations like this, where we're not just talking about portals and timelines, but I try my best to just help everyone just to be better humans. And it helps me even saying it. Hit the follow button, bro. Hit subscribe, whatever button your platform gives you. So this doesn't just become another one of those spiritual clips where you like nod and hit the like button and you forget about it. And if you're watching this on Instagram, videos this long, bro, the app doesn't show them to anyone who doesn't already follow me. And I know someone who doesn't follow me maybe needs to hear this message. So please share this video and or hit the repost button. If this actually helped you see something even just a little bit clearer, there's got to be somebody out there that needs to hear this that doesn't already follow me. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to perform it. I'm just asking you to quietly pass it on. Like I said, if you're still here at this point, know this. I see you, bro. I respect you. And everything I'm building under this whole Team Human umbrella is for the people who are brave enough to trade toxic spirituality for the messy, holy work of real growth. You don't need to become more spiritual. You just need to become more you. And that alone is more sacred than any aesthetic ever could be. I love you, Team Human.